I'm Deborah Prinzing with Slow Flower Society. I'm so glad you're all here today for our June session for our meetup. It's very design focused. I'm delighted that Gina Thresher from the Ground Up Floral is
Yep.
here to share her brilliance with us. Hi, Gina.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. It's so great to see you.
Yeah.
Gina is going to present a mini session of what a longer course she taught at the Seattle Growers Market a couple months ago. And we were talking recently, and I said, hey, would you distill that down to a little less than an hour to share with the Slow Flowers community? Gina's a longtime Slow Flowers member and based here in the Seattle area, as am I. So thank you for saying you'll do this, Gina.
Yeah,
Do you
no
want to give
problem.
us a little background about you and
Sure.
how this technique became part of your
Yeah.
bag of tricks, your toolkit?
I thought this was probably one of the coolest things that I learned. Um, I currently I am AIFD, I am IMF and EMC, and I also teach with I used to teach with EMC. I don't do as much anymore, but because I'm currently buying a flower shop of all
Oh,
things.
oh,
Um,
newsflash.
yeah,
All right,
yeah,
we'll talk about that at the end.
yeah, I'll catch you up. But anyways, this is a great technique. I learned this from Gregor Lersch. If you guys do not follow Gregor Lersch or the Burma Institute, definitely check them out. Mike Burma, it's a family run school, and Gregor Lersch comes to teach there. He's a master florist. Uh, he's a amazing. I love him to death. He's this big German guy. He's got a beard. He looks like the little German Santa Claus. He's amazing.
I met him before and I agree. How do you spell Burma?
Burma, Boerma.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll put the link to
Okay.
the Institute and also to Gregor Lersch in the chat box for people, but it's called the Burma Institute International Floral Design School, Holland. That's a
Yes.
mouthful. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
And it's a family run school, so they do a master's program. So you can, if you feel like you want to take things to the next level, they also do basic design courses as well. But if you're wanting to reach out and do some things in the European style or just learn some really great groundbreaking techniques, that's the place to do it, I think.
Great.
Yeah. So European design is really, I think it's up and coming. I mean, it's kind of hitting what we have here in the Western world. Western design, for quite a few years, we've been focused on like that garden style and all of that. While, over in Europe, they're doing a lot more structural work. So what I've got today for you guys is an armature. So we did do a version of this at the growers market. I know this is going to be kind of hard to see, but this is what I've made for my structure. Now, you could put this on top of a vase, it would work that way, or you could use this as a base for your bouquet. So, what this does is it basically holds your flowers together. That's what an armature is, it's a structure that basically keeps everything in place. So, this is fully compostable. I didn't use any glue, if you can believe that. What this is, it's basically held together with a peg system. So we take these lovely kebab skewers that you can use for so many cool things. We take these and they're basically, I pre-drill holes in here. I'm going to try and get this as close as I can for you guys. But there's pre-drilled holes. I left this one a little bit higher so you can kind of see what
Oh,
happens here. You
wow.
you poke this into the tree, like the pre-drilled holes here, and then you can just kind of pound it in. You have to make sure you're using the right sort of drill bit, right, the right size, but you can pound it in there, and it holds together pretty well. So some of this is held together with some wax twine too, so I can hold it together while I get my spot ready to drill. But that's basically what we did, and it can be a little like frustrating if you haven't really worked with power tools very often. But there are a lot of power tools involved in building and structures and things like that. So if you want to dive into power tools, that's the
So
subject to
just
do it
briefly mention what tools
in.
you're using and how do you
Yes.
determine what size bit will fit that
So
skewer?
it's super scientific. I actually just take the drill bit and kind of line it up next to or on top of like, I just kind of do this. And I kind of gauge, okay, is this one, I'm probably going to have to like wiggle the drill bit around a
Yeah.
little bit in there to maybe make it fit. But you want it to be a tight fit. So, um, so that's kind of how I, super scientific right there. Yeah,
That's
just
amazing. And it's a battery operated bit that's you don't have to
yeah.
get the cords
So
out
this
or
is my
anything.
drill. No,
Yeah.
I've found that some older wood, like the harder stuff, it's really difficult to get the drill bit through. Specifically like rhododendron and like really hard wood bark. That's a lot harder to get the drill bit through. You
Hmm.
could even do this with like curly willow. If you had some thicker pieces of curly willow, that would be nice too, because if it's still green, it really does kind of like the wood will actually kind of expand and keep it really held together tight. So I have this one, I'm gonna pre-drill this part right here. So we're gonna drill into this piece. And be very careful. I actually brought safety glasses and, gloves for the people that were doing this because you can hurt yourself.
And Gina, maybe you can talk about roughly how many pieces of wood you're using, and like, did you just forage these from your
Yeah,
garden, or?
I literally went outside this morning. I've got a really big sugar maple that likes to drop these really cool mossy branches. So I just kind of gathered some of those up. I thought these would be nice to use since they're a little bit lightweight. They don't take up too much. They're pretty easy to use. Yeah. So see how this is going to go in just like that. I'm going to drill the back a little bit just to get. And this is something that you can play with too. If this concept isn't working for you the way that I'm kind of doing it, you could totally just take this idea and run with it. That's what I love about these kind of classes. It's not exact. Like I'm just giving you the ideas and the tools to make it your thing. See, I'm kind of like pushing the drill to the sides when I do that so that it opens it up a little bit more. But this is going to go right through. That's the idea. It's a little tight on the back still. Keep going. You don't have to go all the way through, but I did on most of them come out the back side. You can see, I don't know if you can see that very well,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
you want to make sure you're getting it through as much as possible. It will hold together better if you do that. So this one
Okay.
went all the way through. This one went all the way through. You can kind of see this one. I didn't cut as much because I wanted to show you, but yeah. So that's the idea. You want to get it to go as far as you can. Some of these, like when I start layering them on, it's a little bit harder to get them all the way through. So that's where the waxed twine is amazing for this because it doesn't slip. So you can get it super tight. So that actually helps quite a bit. I know in the class we had a lot of people kind of leaning into the just tying those pieces together because you get to a point where it's just, you know.
I guess when you're using the twine, it is also compostable, correct?
Yeah, yeah. This wax twine is great because it is fully compostable because it's just basically made out of hemp and then dipped in wax, which gives it that really great grip so it doesn't slip.
And someone asked about where you're getting the dowels that you're using as pegs.
Oh yeah, okay. So these you can find these at the Dollar Tree, like dollar store. Just they're kebab skewers is basically what they are. So any grocery store should have them. You could also use toothpicks. I've done that before. They're not as hardy. Like the toothpicks are a lot thinner, so they are not as great structurally, but these they're just kebab skewers. This is stuff that I would recommend if you're going to start getting into structural work. I have pieces like in my studio I've made 5 years ago. These are things that you can make ahead of time. You don't have to, make them morning of course. Like you could make this probably anytime between now and when you wanted to use it. And it's going to hold up fine. You can reuse them. You can throw them in the compost. Really, whatever you want to do with them after you're done is fair game.
I see. And you're just cutting off the
Yeah, so just kind of make
excess.
it flush so you don't see it as much. Um,
Yeah.
makes it easier. And then, so I'm gonna probably just start making my bouquet. I don't have a lot of, we're gonna do the branchy stuff first. Let's see. All right, so I grabbed some stuff from my yard and from my neighbor's yard. I have permission, of course. They're very nice. They let me cut what I want.
I love that Japanese maple. It's
Isn't it
gorgeous.
pretty? They have another one that's that gold color in the fall. It's really pretty. Okay. So usually when I start with this armature, the struggle here is that this can be kind of heavy. So I usually will start with something that's a little bit more heavy duty. I'm just going to place my branches here, and I'm going to sort of support this with my hand underneath here while I start getting the material in. You could also just pop this on top of a vase, put all your stems in, and then lift it up and hand tie it, like make the bouquet tied. I might actually do that for visual purposes. I think it might be easier than me holding it. So let's do that. All right, so we're gonna just put this on top of the vase. So see how this just could be like a really cool addition to a vase? Like you could easily make stuff in here.
People are really loving this. You're such a
Yeah,
great instructor.
thank you.
So this is truly, I feel like this is really a Northwest inspired bouquet because of the
Yeah,
elements
that's
are
why I
so
loved
much
it
from the
so much.
garden.
I
Yeah.
saw Gregor doing this and I was like, you know what? I love my sticks and moss. I actually have a shirt that I just got that says I love moss. Um, so yeah, it's very Pacific Northwest, super, super fun. I do have on my Instagram, my from the ground up floral.media, I actually have a picture of the bouquet that I made in class. And it's really pretty. I love that bouquet so much.
How would this apply for event work? Could you pre-make several of these?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what he does for his event work. He pre-makes, he's like a little mad elf. He makes all these things and then, puts flowers in them, either the day before or whenever you have time for your event work, what your schedule is. But yeah, you can pre-make these if you were doing this for an event and then add all your flowers when you needed to. Yeah, absolutely.
And how for transporting, do you tend to assemble on location?
I not with this. I really wouldn't. I think you can pre-do this and have it be just a nice hand tie. Um, I don't think you would need to do this on site. I actually try not to do a lot of stuff on site just because it's stressful.
Hmm.
Most of my stuff I come fully finished.
Danya says the vase is making me nervous.
I know I'm holding the back of it, so it would be a lot more sturdy if there was more water in here, obviously, but
Hmm. Hmm.
we work with what we got.
Oh my gosh. So you're really using the oh, that didn't go in. That's in the not in the
Are we
vase.
out?
Oh, I guess it doesn't matter because ultimately you're
I'll be
not going
pulling it together, yeah. But
ultimately
let's
this will not be in a water source. Is that
right, this
the
is
issue?
gonna be my idea for this was just to be like a hand-tied bouquet. So she will be in a water source, but I'm gonna take her out and bind her at the end here in a minute.
In that regard, then the selection of ingredients does determine, like you're choosing roses and peonies, they'll be fine out of water for like a special party or something like that,
Right. If
right?
this, I mean, I would probably, if this was like my woodland bride, I would let her know it does need to go back in a vase. But see what I mean? You can just take this out. So the structure is basically just holding this all together now.
Wow, it's
And I'm
gorgeous.
holding it. So see how it kind of did a nice little hand tie. So you could just bind it here and it wouldn't be an issue. It would just be like a regular bouquet, but you have this at the base to hold everything
Mm,
together
that's gorgeous.
for sure. And you know what? It's definitely not something of the normal. Like people don't think of like, oh, you're a florist, but it's way more than that. It's way more than that. Like, no, I actually do. I love going to Home Depot and finding like things I can use for stuff. And I think that's probably one of my favorite places to go besides going and buying plants, right?
Mm-hmm. In terms of composition, how do you approach, like it looks like you started to say you put your woody material in first, and then are you
Mhm.
kind of like going to like focal flowers and then
Yeah, so
trailing
here,
flowers?
when we look at it, when I pull it, I'm thinking, so I'm trying to keep in mind of what this is going to look like, obviously, from the front, because I can see myself, which is kind of fun. But yes, focal flowers, I would usually put those in like after I put my harder material in. That way I know where the focal is going to be. And we have these girls up front. Those are my focal, obviously. And then I'm kind of just trailing out and giving the bride something to look at back here. There's a few, we have the sweet peas and a little rose, couple little roses back here. I wish I had one more rose right there, but this is what we got. I have one, but she's kind of falling apart.
Well, put
I'll
her
add
in.
her. It's okay. We'll put her in.
Someone's asking what is the vine with the red flowers. I think that is
It is
showing
sweet
up.
pea.
It's showing up red on the screen, but it's more of a hot pink
It's
sweet
more of a
pea,
hot
right?
pink. They're definitely hot pink sweet peas. Yeah. These came from my yard. I don't know. They came back from last year. I did not plant these this year.
Oh, I love it. They returned.
So I don't know what variety they are. Sorry.
Susan Ryan says, I like how you're using the lamb's ear to tie in the color of the lichen, which is a really good point.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted something a little soft. And I saw that as I was about to leave. So I was like,
Mm,
no, I need something else. And that's
mm.
what I grabbed. So that's in there too.
Another
And
couple
then
great comments from people who are saying now they know what to do when they are doing pruning or cutting things down
save
instead
your
of
sticks.
tossing it, right?
Don't throw away sticks. Don't ever throw away sticks. My husband's like, he sees my piles of stuff and he's like, can we throw away the sticks yet? I'm like, no, those are my sticks. Do
Well,
not
they're
throw
the
away my
least
sticks.
perishable thing in your hand right
And
now.
they're so useful. You can use these for so many things. Yeah, sticks with moss are amazing. And I have a few little bits of serene. These are just, my little floaters and fillers, and they go in last
Yeah.
usually.
Is it heavy or like
No, this
what?
is super light. It's
Okay.
very light. The wood does kind of play a part in that too. So if you pick something that's a little heavier, it's going to be a little heavier. But these sticks are very dry, so they're super light. Like
Just
this is.
also my observation is that this matrix that you've designed has so many openings that
Mm-hmm.
it's not flat at all. You're really getting a lot of
No.
depth.
And that's where I think it's a really super interesting concept for like bouquet work and stuff like that, because you do have a lot more depth to play with. So it's kind of like you look in there, there's all sorts of
Wow.
places you can put things.
So
And it's just kind
pretty.
of fun because you still see the sticks popping out. And I've got like a long stick over here. I wish I had something that kind of trailed that way. Maybe she can go this way.
I feel like this is really almost like a magical, fantastical arrangement that you'd use for a photo shoot, something
It's very
editorial.
fun. Yeah, this would be very fun for an editorial shoot. Oh, that one broke. And then if you wanted to, you could even come underneath here to kind of hide a little bit of stuff. If you wanted to bring something down lower, you could easily do that
And not even put it through
and
you
not put it
just
through the armature. Yeah, you don't have to put things through the armature, but if you wanted to maybe hide your mechanics a little bit on the bottom, you could put some stuff on the bottom. That's why I grabbed some heuchera and
just to kind of hide
just to
your
kind of hide a little
your
bit. You don't have to.
mm,
I think the structure is beautiful to be shown. So you
mm.
can,
All of these elements came out of your garden or your neighbor's garden, so they're very hyper seasonal. That's
yes.
why they look so
Hmm.
well together.
Yeah, actually, all of this stuff in here. I mean, I did this other stuff I have on the side. I did get that from the growers market, but I actually have another bouquet I want to show you.
Okay.
I
Ooh.
have a bonus bouquet
Oh,
for
good.
those of you doing delicate things.
We have lots of time, so we'll
Okay,
we'll
yeah,
take
I know.
it.
I was like, we'll get through this one. Use waterproof tape to bind my bouquets, but that's definitely not compostable. So I think what we'll do is use the wax twine. I'm gonna set her in here for a second.
Oh my gosh. You know what else is so interesting is that your exaggerated horizontal
Yeah, I think that's fun
shape.
because you can get that with an armature. It's very easy to do when you use a structure to kind of extend out because you have stuff that can just kind of lean and it doesn't have to get wired. And that's why, I mean, like if this was wired and taped and stuff, it wouldn't be compostable, would it? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make a loop and do like a little twine tie here. I know you can't really see me, but however you want to bind this is pretty standard, I think.
And really, you're keeping your stems very short on that.
Yeah, I like to make sure that everybody gets the same amount of water. You want to make sure if this was like a bridal bouquet, of course, you want the stems to be all the same length. You want to make sure everybody's getting in the water, all of that. You could have it longer, but this is just where my shorter stems were. So
Sure.
that's why we cut it that short. Just kind of going around. I'll tie it off here in a second. And it'll be all good. I know I grow a lot of this stuff, so it makes me happy to see it in a bouquet that's going to be, going to the compost or having another life. But
Sure.
I know growers really appreciate that too. They want to see their product respected.
Oh, before you finish, Gina, could you, someone's asking if you could hold it vertically just to see how it would
Yeah,
look. I mean, I'm assuming that that's,
yes,
an
I will do
option
that.
for a stylist to have it be vertical, more like a cascade, right?
You could make it more of a cascade. It could go this way. Since the stems are quite a bit shorter, I could definitely hold it this way. My focal kind of changed a little bit. It's a
Yeah.
little bit more this way, but again, when you're going into it, I was kind of thinking we'd hold it more like this. So my focal's here, but you can change that to be like just depending on what look you were going for.
But you know what? When you hold it vertical, it's like you've got a diagonal line of the
hmm
focal flowers that lines up with the sweet peas. It's actually brilliant.
It
It's
does
like you
work that way.
want it
Yeah,
to
it's
work.
very,
Yeah.
very organic, very, very loose,
Yeah. And
and
then
it's
you kind of held it
super
at an
light.
angle. Yeah.
I mean, like she's very,
Okay.
very lightweight.
I
So,
guess also when you're using dry branches that are, kind
mhm.
of uh more lighter weight than something heavy and wet.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna make sure we have a little bit more water in here. I'm one of those people that doesn't like to see things out of water. I prefer to have, again, my
Ah,
product respected. So she's
stunning.
in water.
So beautiful.
hmm Yeah, you could do, I mean, again, just giving you the tools to do what you want with that. That's the fun part. I think
Mm.
you can take that and be super creative with it. This is fun. You can just, it's not like it's expensive either. You can go in your yard, see what you got, go in your neighbor's yard, borrow some sticks, play with some sticks. I mean, it's that
Get some
easy.
skewers.
Get some skewers. This one's just as easy. Um, that that's my armature,
You dug out of a bird's nest.
right? So I don't know how many of you have seen the trick where you use like a fluffy base flower for better lack of better terms, like an armature. I've seen a lot of florists do this lately, and I'm like, why would you spend money and put more flowers at the bottom? It just, I mean, sure, I guess, whatever, but like you could do that with moss. It's so cheap.
So what is that exactly?
It's literally a ball of Spanish moss, and then I tied it up with raffia.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like a cocodama without any plants
Roots.
in it.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing in it. It's just a big ball of moss. The only problem with this one is that it can get a little hard to stick things through if you make it super tight. So you kind of have to make it loose, um, which I've played with before. I've done it too tight, and I'm like, sometimes you have to like skewer stuff down in there to get the stems to go through.
Interesting. So you
Um,
kind of like tease it apart a little bit before you put the raffia on.
yeah, it's just not super tight. So the raffia is pretty loose. And I've done it before with like bind wire, and that tends to make it really tight. So that one's kind of You know, if you're making one that's bigger, it might be better, but so I'm going to use a little bit more of my delicate stuff for this. Um, I have some Tweedia that I got from the market. This is bonus bouquet. You guys are getting bonus bouquet
Yeah, I
today.
love it. We're in luck, you guys. We've got time and ingredients and talent. Time, talent, and ingredients. That's all we need.
Yay! That's all you need. All right, and sometimes you just need to play. So this is a fun one to play with too, because again, like who doesn't know where to find some moss and make a ball with it? It's pretty easy. Um,
Well, also
I
if you have that moss left over, I don't know, from the top of an orchid or like
right, yeah.
it doesn't decompose very fast.
It'll stick around for a while, yeah. Okay, let's see. So I've got some scapes, some garlic scapes that I picked. Um, they're super available right now. This is like the best time. I'm sorry if you live like in the South, you probably don't get these because you have different kinds of garlic. But here
Those
up in
are
the Northwest, we grow that like, uh, is it the soft neck or the hard neck? I can't remember which one. But this came from my yard. I was
oh
really
my God,
excited
they're
because
so
aren't
fabulous,
they so
Gina.
cool? They're really fun. But they're so popular right now. I know everybody's seeing these really like structural elements, these cool organic things in bouquets now. So this is really, really trendy. Um, so I'm just gonna grab some of my things that need to go in here. What I like to do when I make a bouquet is make sure I have everything lined up so I don't, because I'm the type of person that will like buy something special for the bride and totally forget it if it's not in front of my face. And
Mm.
then it ends up being mine because it sits in the cooler. I'm like, well, that sucks. So these things are a little bit more delicate. They're kind of the weird botanical stuff that's really popular right now. Just kind of sweet peas, of course, are a classic. They're not weird, they're just amazing. So these came from the growers market. I don't know which grower gave me these, but
Mm.
they smell so
They're
good.
massive.
Yeah, they're pretty nice.
Wow.
And the nice thing about sweet peas, I know people are kind of usually thinking they're super fragile, but I've had them last for weeks. Like they they really are kind of a little bit more hardy than people think sometimes. All right. So I think we got enough stuff and just put that over there. Again, you kind of just need to go through and make sure your ingredients are all prepped out. It's a lot like chef work, the mise en place. Just get your stuff in a row so you know what you're going to grab, and it's a lot easier for you. You don't have to like grab things with your teeth and all of that because I know we have all done it.
I love your palette.
Isn't this fun? I think it's going to be really pretty. Okay, so we take our moss ball, and I think I'm going to start with Mr. Hydrangea here. We're just gonna stick it through. You could probably just use the hydrangea as
Hmm.
your armature. Like I've
But
done
you
that
want it
for
to
many
show and
bouquets, but
not
I
be
wanted to
hidden.
show this.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is have it stick out a little bit. So we're gonna do that. It's gonna be fun. Trust me, it'll be fun. All right. And I'm just gonna sort of begin punching things through. And I've seen other florists do this, but they don't go all the way through.
Mm.
So this is kind of something new, I think. I don't know. I'm sure somebody's done it somewhere because nothing's new, right?
Right. But when you
But
go all the way through, then you're really making that moss ball a design element, not just a
mhm,
mechanic.
yep, absolutely.
Mm. That color's great.
Isn't that fun? And you don't have, again, you do not have to go through. You can come behind. You don't have to go in if you don't want to. I think I'm just going to leave these ones out to give it a
Because you're
little
gonna
bit more of a
you,
side shoot.
it also, you know what, it also makes the line, it pushes the lines more
Hmm.
uh toward the side, so it's not just an upright
Yeah,
design.
it's very, very versatile. And then see what I mean? It's a little bit hard sometimes to stick them through, but if you kind of give it a little push. So see that if I was doing that with a like more delicate stem, it would be a lot harder. Um, so just be aware not to make it too tight.
Okay, here come the scapes.
They're gonna go in and
That's
we're
all
gonna
your
make them
movement.
fun. Yes, they're so fun.
Oh my gosh.
And again, this is probably going to be more of a delicate bouquet. We're not going for a crazy
No
large
branches
bouquet.
here.
No branches.
But what I like the most about this is that you're
Oh, look at
really
that.
varying the heights of the stems. And so
And
you're
you can
getting this
totally do that because this is
high-low.
holding it's holding it together for you. You don't have to worry that this is going to be like, oh, that scabious is probably going to break. Like, but it's not because it's held in place.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's totally the idea.
So Lisa from Oregon and April from Montana are the experts. They're saying the hard necks make the scapes.
Okay.
So
So
you have
we
hard
get the
neck.
hard neck. Yes, because I think it's because we have more mild temperatures here, right? Am I correct?
It seems
My
like it.
first year growing it, so I'm like, I don't really know.
I don't think you're going to get to eat any of it. You're just using it in design.
Though, you can make pesto, so I might take these out and make some pesto with this. I've
Oh,
heard it's
fun.
really good.
So once you get your kind of core clump of stems in that ball, you're now designing around the perimeter of it and not worrying
Yeah,
so
and you
much.
can because, again, like as much as it's fine, it's not ugly, but you can cover it up a little bit more.
The palette is beautiful.
And it's just kind of fun. It's very light and whimsical, not very serious.
But even the Nigella stem, which is pretty thin, you're getting it to
Yep.
punch through.
Yeah, just punched it right through.
Wow.
So, yeah,
God, that's gorgeous.
isn't that fun?
Yeah, really pretty. It'd be a beautiful graduation bouquet for some young high school graduate or
Oh, yeah,
a bridesmaid's
younger.
bouquet.
hmm Yeah. And again, it's the tools. You can take this and run with it. You can use the little, um, that hardened raffia balls. Those are fun to play with. You could even tie some together and maybe make like a cascade. Like there are so many things you could do. See, I'm just kind of working around to kind of cover the back a little bit. Like I don't mind it being seen, but
Oh my gosh, so adorable.
all right. So that's bouquet number two. How are we doing on time? Was that
It's amazing. You're such a pro. I just love it. Oh, so many of the stems appear to be floating in this one.
Isn't it nice? Lift them out as high as you want, and they are being held at the base, so they're
So the tension of being in that ball holds them at whatever height you want. Oh
yep,
my God, Gina, that's so
yeah.
pretty.
So you can pull and move them around if you want to, and they're just being held where they're at.
Yeah. And your choice of flowers
Mm-hmm.
makes that even more dreamy.
Thank you. It's like a little walk through the garden.
I don't think I properly described from the ground up floral. You really are a luxury wedding designer, but you're also a teacher. You do
Mm-hmm.
floral education all around the world. And what is your emphasis these days?
It's just that I've actually been a lot of my focus right now has been going into purchasing a shop in August. It should be finalized in the end of August, which is fun and scary all at the same time.
It might curtail your travel a little bit, huh?
I don't know. I mean, I feel super, super lucky because she already has a really great team in place. The owner is retiring. That's what's happening. So I am very fortunate that her team is going to stay on. I will continue to do education. I'm actually slotted for something next year that's going to be really fun. Um, I can't really, it's AIFD stuff. I can't really spill the beans yet on that one.
Okay.
Um,
Well, you've
but
often taught at or participated in
yeah,
education at AIFT. So,
yes,
yeah,
it's a wonderful, they do a symposium every year. It travels around the country. It's usually, I think, so this year it's in Florida, which I won't be attending, but I will be going to the one in St. Louis, which is 2027. So
great.
yeah.
Gina has a workshop coming up in July. It's
Yes.
it's kind of a unique workshop. It's July 20th through 23rd. Tell us
Hmm.
about this. This is a really unique
Yeah.
workshop.
Okay. So this was fun. I think we all kind of struggle from okay, I have to do this kind of stuff, but then like, I also have to wear the content hat and the business owner hat and like the blog posting hat, all of the different things you have to do for social media and stuff nowadays. It can get really overwhelming and you can get behind on posting really fast. I am one of those people that does that. I'll post and I'll post, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I got so busy. Like I totally forgot to post this week. So I mean, raise your hand if that's happened to you. I'm totally sure we all do it.
Yeah, you're talking to
Um,
all of us.
yeah. So what I have in mind is it's a 3-day retreat, and we will be basically getting all of our quarterly blog posts done on site with accountability, um, running through exactly like what makes a good blog post, like how we can, a lot of like seminar style stuff,
Hmm.
seminars like learning, but then there'll be time to implement that. And my goal is to have everybody leave with like the 3 months of content like planned out. Um, it does require that you do have like some of that stuff in place. I would say you need to at least like know how to use Canva and be very down to business. No fluff.
Mm,
I wanted to see if we could maybe get a styled shoot in one of those days to maybe have some content for people.
yeah,
But
some
you need to kind
images.
of show up with some actual stuff already, like in your portfolio and in your bank. That way we can work with that. It's I think it's going to be really fun. I do it. My friend Anna Heat, she lives in Maryland. She's also uh, we go to these classes and stuff together. So she's part of IMF and EMC and AIFD as well. But she has a really great little studio set up so we could actually like bring the laptops and get down to business and do all the things. I'm going to run this locally if this one does well. I think we'll do one in January for Q1
Oh, right,
here.
you've talked about that. So you're doing this in Maryland, so the
Hmm.
Maryland, Virginia, Washington, D.C.
Yeah,
area,
so
and
East
you'll,
Coast
yeah,
people, and then I think we're gonna do one here for Q1
okay.
if everything goes well. So yeah,
Okay, great. Well, more
yeah.
details on that. And then that is so beautiful. Gosh, you guys, we got really lucky today with a twofer, and
Yes, surprise bouquet.
congratulations on
Yeah,
the
thank
news
you.
about your shop too. Can you tell us where it is, or is it to be
Yeah,
determined?
no, it's in Kirkland. I'm actually working at Fina Flowers, so that's the shop. And I'm kind
Wow.
of on the verge of I'm not sure what to do with my brand. Her brand's been around for like 30 years, which is amazing, and I have so much respect for that. So we're gonna keep Fina Flowers. And I'm thinking my From the Ground Up Floral brand might actually just start doing more education
Yeah,
and maybe the weddings and all of the stuff that they do will be under FINA. So
I think
yeah,
that's fair.
I think so too. There is always something to learn in this industry, and if you feel like there's not, you need to look around because there's there's so many facets of this stuff, and you can take it as far as you want to go. You can go to Europe and learn amazing European design. There's so much to this industry. That's why I love it. I love it so much. It's so fun.
We want to support you. So congratulations on
Thank
that,
you.
Gina.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing these techniques of